If you're sailing on Allure of the Seas, this is the video I wish I had watched before we boarded. We picked up a lot of great tips during our cruise, some from experience, some the hard way, and today I'm sharing everything that will help you get the best seats, avoid long queues, find the free food spots and make the most of your time on board. Let's start with entertainment, because this is where planning ahead really matters. One of the biggest things to know is that show reservations open on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Planner on the app or website, usually on the first day of the month before your cruise departure. Do keep checking your planner and your Facebook cruise specific group if you've joined, as ours did open a week earlier than I expected. You really want to be ready when it opens to get the shows that you want. The most popular shows, especially Mamma Mia and the Aqua Show, go quickly. If those are on your must-see list, don't wait. When it comes to the amphitheatre, specifically, I recommend arriving about 30 minutes before the show starts. We did this and it made such a difference. If you turn up right at showtime, you'll probably still get in, but you're left with scattered or side seats. Getting there early gives you much better options and makes the whole experience more relaxed. Now let's talk about the comedy club. The room is small, much smaller than people expect, so space is genuinely limited. If you want to go, you absolutely need to reserve it as soon as bookings open. We actually didn't make it to a show here because the ones available during our sailing were 18+, but even aside from that, it fills up fast because of how intimate the venue is. So if comedy is important to you, treat that reservation like a priority. Then there's the Aqua Show, and honestly this was one of the highlights of the entire cruise. It is incredibly popular for a reason. The diving, the acrobatics, the staging, it's such a high energy production. If you don't manage to get a reservation, then there is a standby queue for main seating. And another little tip, you can also go up the stairs and stand near the climbing wall area to watch from here. It's not the traditional seating and you do have to stand, but it's still a great view. If we'd had more time, we would absolutely have seen it again. The ice skating show is another one to book. It's called Blades. This can only be booked in the app once you get on board. It was packed when we went. They did allow latecomers in, but by then there were only random single seats left around the arena. So again, arrive early, I'd say at least 20 minutes before the show starts. And a little extra tip while you're there, you can actually grab popcorn outside Studio B, and this costs $2.50. It's a nice little cinema style touch if you want something to snack on during the show. You can add extra flavours yourself and it tasted good. Now let's move on to food, because there are some great included options people don't always realise are free. Sorrento's pizza is included in your fare and it's open late, which makes it perfect for after shows or late evenings. They usually have a few flavours available by the slice, but if you request vegan or gluten-free pizza, they actually make you a whole pizza rather than just a slice. That surprised us and the pizza was really delicious. Also, there's orange infused water available there if you wanted something different from plain water. Another great included option is the doghouse on the boardwalk. Definitely try the chicken and apple sausage. It sounds unusual, but it's really good. Check the app for opening times, and they also have a variety of toppings and ketchups available at no extra charge. Now Park Cafe on Deck A is another underrated spot. It's one of my favourite spots. It's great if you want something lighter. You can grab fruit here and take things away with you. And then my favourite thing is you can actually make up your own salad bowl. And also, if you're looking for crisps, do ask at the counter. They keep them behind there instead of out on display. Now here's a breakfast tip that can generally save you time. The Windjammer does get very busy in the mornings. There are big queues, it's hard to find seating, especially on sea days. Instead, try the Solarium restaurant. Even though it's located in the outdoor area, kids are allowed there at breakfast time. It's usually much calmer, it's easier to find seats, and they still serve pastries, cereal, have cooked breakfast options, and even alternate milk choices. It just feels less chaotic. And also there is a hand washing sink. This is on the left as you walk in, but it is easy to miss, but we did spot it there. Also, at breakfast, don't miss the Boardwalk Doughnuts. They're free, but they're only available for a couple of hours each morning. If you're up early, grab one and eat it, or keep it for later in the day. And before we move on to more tips, if you're planning a family cruise or love cruise content like this, make sure you're subscribed. I share honest cruise tips, ship tours, and things we actually learn on board, not just the brochure version. It really helps my channel and means you won't miss the next one. Alright, let's get into the drink deals, because this is where you can actually save some money. So if we're talking drinks, there are ways to save money here too if you haven't bought the drinks package. There's usually a happy hour between 5 to 8 o'clock. On our sailing, Aperol Spritz were $10 and margaritas were $6 each during that window. Also, every day there was a drink of the day special, where a specific cocktail was discounted. Keep an eye out for the signs at the bars, it does change daily. If you want something a bit different, then the Pesky Parrot serves cocktails in these fun tiki glasses, and they have a great range of cocktails too. The Rising Tide Bar is definitely worth doing at night. You can get on at the promenade deck or at Central Park, and as it slowly moves between the decks, you get to see Central Park lit up in the evening, and this is just such a cool atmosphere, and the lights look amazing. For activities, there are a few things to know ahead of time. If you plan on actually going ice skating yourself during open skate sessions, then bring trousers and thick socks. They won't let you skate without long trousers or leggings, and the thick socks makes the boots much more comfortable. You also have to watch a short safety video beforehand. You will find the open skate sessions on your cruise planner on the app. You will get allocated a colour session and go and get your boots when your time is called. If you're planning to try the flow rider, sign the waiver in the app before you go. It does save time. I'd recommend to wear a swimsuit and ideally a t-shirt as well. The water pressure is really strong and it can tug at loose swimwear more than you expect. For the Zipline, tie your hair back and wear lace-up shoes. It sounds obvious, but they're strict about it for safety reasons. If you're feeling thirsty, at the back of the ship near the Wipeout Bar, you can get shaved ice. This is an extra charge. You can have it plain or you can add alcohol. It's a really nice, refreshing option on the hot days, and you get to keep the container afterwards if you wanted to. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a few practical tips because these can save you hassle. When you return pool towels, make sure you swipe your SeaPass card. If you don't check them back in properly, you can get charged. Life jackets are available for you to help yourself, and they come in different sizes for infants, children and youth. If you want to use the arcade, you can add credit directly onto your SeaPass card. You can also add it onto your children's SeaPass if they will be using the arcade. And if you're looking for the jogging track, there are multiple entrances, including the access through the gym, which is straight onto the track. Overall, Allure of the Seas has so much going on that a little bit of planning makes a huge difference. Booking shows early, knowing where to eat to avoid queues, and spotting the daily drink specials can genuinely improve your experience. If you're sailing on Allure soon, let me know in the comments, and if you've already cruised on her, drop your best tip below. It really helps other people planning their trip. And if this video helped you, give it a like. It helps more than you think. And if you want to take this even further and find out more about Allure of the Seas, I've also made a full video on the best kept secrets on Allure of the Seas, the hidden spots, quiet areas like this one, and things that most people walk straight past. If you're cruising soon, that one will help you get even more out of your trip. I'll link it up onto the screen now. So thank you, see you in the next adventure, happy cruising.